Lord, forgive me because I'm about to sin again. I have sworn time and time again that I would do my best to resist making fun of the platform formerly known as Twitter, but I can't help myself. They keep giving me little layups that I can't help but just finish at the rim on. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I just made a video making fun of the Twitter rebrand. It's now just called X, the letter X and nothing else, which, as I said, is very embarrassing because it sounds like something on Xbox Live in a Call of Duty lobby from 2009 where every 12-year-old thought having X's in their name was cool, and I thought I had finally got it all out of my system. There's no more jokes left to make about this low-hanging fruit. Until just now, with breaking news, they released their new official tagline, and I couldn't believe it. My jaw was literally on the floor. I was more stunned by this tagline than I was with the ending to Inception when I first watched it. I shit you not. The report said that their tagline was "Blaze Your Glory." And I didn't believe them at first. I thought this was propaganda because surely no one is that uncool. What does this even mean? Blaze your glory. That sounds like a meaningless nothing burger that an anime protagonist would have shouted in a 2004 throwaway anime. I just can't believe someone could be this lame. I don't think evolution would allow for someone to be this uncool. We didn't evolve over the course of millions of years to reach a point where someone has made it to the apotheosis of cringe. I just don't believe we're there yet. Yet, all of the evidence points to the contrary. Elon Musk might legitimately be the lamest person to ever exist to think that this is cool. Blaze your glory. What does that even mean? It sounds like a sexual euphemism, like, oh, fuck, I'm up late, lotion on my hands, and I'm blazing my glory right now. I actually went to the App Store to check this for myself because I thought I was being lied to. I couldn't believe we existed in such a cursed dimension that would allow someone to think that this was cool. But it's true, it's real. That is the tagline for the platform formerly known as Twitter. It is "Blaze your glory." That is worse than those old Discord cringe messages that would pop up when you try and launch the program where it was like, calculating RAR meme threshold, need to construct additional pylons for optimal memeing. Quick, get to cover. Wumpus is a fire in his laser. Watch out, Springle just deleted all your base. Your base no longer belong to us. That old garbage? This is worse. Blaze Your Glory is like 50 times worse. I have legitimately been giggling about this for at least 10 minutes, which is why I'm making a whole video once again making fun of this platform, even though I have sworn that I would stop, control myself, the urge, but I can't fight it. It's like that scene in Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves, where he gets tied up by the two girls, and he's like, I didn't fuck you, you fucked me. You came into my house and you sucked my cock. You sucked my dick. It was free pizza. That's how I feel right now. This is free pizza. What am I supposed to do? How could I not make fun of this? My glory is blazing just thinking about this shit. It's so wild to me. And I really just can't get over his obsession with the letter X. He named one of their fucking children X. And then a couple of other letters here that he must have seen during a Steam Guard check to make sure that you're not a robot. I understand that it has some kind of connotation with some kind of fighter jet or something, but once again, it's probably chosen by Elon Musk just because the letter X is in it. And for fucking 20 years now, over 2 decades, he's wanted X.com. He wanted that to be PayPal originally. They shot that down for obvious reason because very clearly it seems like a porn site. But now he's got fucking full reign, unthrottled, uncircumcised, and unhinged. So he's got X and he's letting it all rip. There is no one but yes men surrounding Elon Musk just saying, go wild, brother. And he is. The glory will not stop being set ablaze right now at the X headquarters. Just a few nights ago, they set up some kind of X sign, like a light beaming off of a sign to the building, like it was the goddamn bat signal, but for fucking cringe. It was just like the letter X on a building. It looked horrible. It was disruptive. It was awful. It is just a non-stop roller coaster of embarrassment. I really don't know how it's possible to be that uncool. It's incomprehensible to me. I grew up as a fucking loser, a weirdo, for sure. But even I would know that this is so embarrassing. My cheeks would never stop being red. I would never show my face out of shame. I would legitimately be in a paper bag for the rest of my life. I wouldn't let people see my face if I was the guy that kept doing this shit with X and Blaze Your Glory. The shame would just be far too much to even put into words. I just, I can't help but make fun of it. I really can't. It's begging for it. I think there is a chance Elon Musk has some kind of humiliation fetish. Like, the more people say that it's lame, the more he wants to be insulted for it, it feels like. This seems deliberate. This can't be accidental. No one is this accidentally uncool. It's a plague because it's infecting other people into being just as lame. There's a lot of people that will just defend anything Elon Musk does with the platform, and then get mad when people make fun of it. So it's not just him, he is infecting and spreading the lame virus. He's like the Axe body spray for online losers, where a lot of people will flock to him as like this group feeling of being like successful and cool, and like they're always going to battle for their leader Elon Musk, which makes no sense. Again, I don't really care about Twitter's success or its failure. I'm just laughing at the goofy decisions made along the way. So I'm just going to bring up one tweet here. It's not even this person in particular I have a problem with or anything. This is just the general attitude about how when I make fun of it, I'm just coping with the success of Twitter under the leadership of Elon Musk. I don't give a fuck. If Twitter burns to the ground tomorrow, I don't care. If it's 20 times more successful tomorrow, I don't care. I think the platform sucks. I'd prefer if it was in the dirt, buried 6 feet under. I think it's been a net negative for the entire world, but overall, its presence isn't something that disturbs me or makes me upset. I'm not coping with its success. I'm making fun of it. So even if it's 20 times more successful tomorrow, I will still make fun of it. You know what else is extremely successful? Selling soiled, used panties online to degenerates. I'll make fun of that too, but it is successful. It's very successful. A lot of women make a ton of money doing that. But just like X, Blaze Your Glory, it's something to laugh at because it's so fucking silly. It's so goofy. So no, this has nothing to do with jealousy over a platform's success or its failure or anything. It is just legitimately comical nonsense along the way that is something to point and laugh at as a spectacle and shoot some spitballs at. It's a circus, and the clowns are dancing, honking their nose and making me giggle. It's just not that deep. There's really nothing to psychoanalyze here. You don't need to be holding up Rorschachs to me in order to get down to the bottom of it. It's just super simple. So just stop being so upset when people make fun of some goofy shit like this. Keep your glory blazing, take a step back, and share in the laughs. It's just that simple. You're not on the board of directors or anything. You don't have any like actual investment into the company. So whether it's successful or it's not, it shouldn't matter to you. Just have fun. Like, just enjoy the silly ride that we're all on here with watching all of these goofy things unfold in front of us. Maybe it'll end up making the platform 1,000 times more successful and becomes extremely profitable. And maybe, 10 years from now, Blaze Your Glory's on t-shirts. It's even got its own little mascot, like fucking Ultra Lord out of Jimmy Neutron, the Glory Blazer or something. Like, maybe it's the biggest thing in the world, but it will still always be a fucking goofy, uncool thing. Always worthy of being joked about. But anyway, I won't go on too much longer about it. That's really about it. May your glory be forever ablaze, my ex-friends. That's about it. So yeah. I couldn't have been more wrong. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, I was convinced there really wasn't a lot he could do to make it worse. And he has absolutely slapped me around here and spit in my face, letting me know that no, it always could get worse. I already made a video talking about his $8 a month for the check mark on Twitter, his verification, his pay-to-win opinion scheme where you can pay $8 a month to have your check mark and you get priority in the search and replies and all that. I already talked about that at length. The main takeaway there is I just find that to be really embarrassing. To publicly display that you pay for a service like Twitter is more shameful than letting people know that you pay for furry porn. So I just thought that would be a little Boy Scout badge people would always point and laugh at you for, and that was the worst thing about it. I just thought it was silly, especially because you don't even get an ad-free experience. You're paying $8 a month, and he says you only get half as many ads, which is just a fat L. Imagine paying a monthly subscription and still getting ads. Yucky. But today, Elon Musk actually made a much more concerning announcement regarding this new program, where if you don't pay $8 a month for Twitter, if you try and use Twitter for free, as it's always been, you're basically shadow banned. At least that's how it sounds coming from his mouth. Your replies aren't really going to be seen. He says verbatim, you'll have to scroll far to see unverified users, which sounds like going forward, you'll need to cough up $8 a month in order to have a voice. To anyone with their brain even remotely functioning properly, you'll recognize this is the exact opposite of free speech, which he claims to champion for the platform. But I'm just going to publicly beg all Elon Musk meat riders to hop off his cock for just a few seconds here, put away your little sausage fingers before writing your comment about how upset you are that I insulted your savior, and just listen. Just join me on a magic school bus ride through this absolutely terrible idea and why this is such a fucking outrageous program.
So how do you prevent the use of the N-word? We should be able to figure out with software how to moderate this and prevent that from happening. Is that true or not?
What I'm trying to achieve with this sort of enabling everyone to be payment verified with Twitter Blue is to try to get as many people payment verified as possible. It's only $8 a month, although for some people that were complaining about that, and these are people who pay more than that for their latte.
Elon was asked his strategy for combating hate speech, racism, anti-Semitism, all of that, and he brought up the payment subscription plan as a way of fighting against it. But I wanted to highlight this part here where he compares the price of a Starbucks latte to the subscription plan, because he loves this one. This is for some reason like his smoking gun. He's already posted this dank meme about it, so this is pretty much his anime signature finishing move. This is his Kamehameha. He really thinks this is just a checkmate, like, so you'll pay $8 for a Starbucks latte and it only lasts you 30 minutes, but you'll cry about $8 a month for Twitter and it lasts you 30 days. Curious. So you'll pay $8 for a drink and it only lasts you a couple of minutes, but you're gonna go ahead and whine and throw a temper tantrum for the same price for having a voice on a shithole platform? Very interesting. I'm not a Starbucks enjoyer. I don't like Starbucks. I don't go there. Maybe the drinks are overpriced. Couldn't tell you. But that's neither here nor there. This is just like a gotcha moment that a child would think is clever. Like, Mom, Dad, why won't you buy me the new Call of Duty game? We spend more on groceries every week, and this is just a one-time purchase. And some of those groceries are so yucky, like broccoli and shit. We're paying more for that than Call of Duty, so just get me Call of Duty. Or back in the day when streaming services first started popping off, streaming service to nutbutt.com is only $6 a month. That's less than a single meal from Burger King. It's just so silly. You're comparing things that aren't even comparable. You're comparing food to a checkmark on Twitter. Like, it's so dumb. I also see a lot of people bastardizing what free speech means in order to fit their own personal image of Elon Musk as the Messiah. People are saying this is just how it's supposed to be. Twitter's like this big public bulletin board where anyone can go up and post something on it, but now you can pay to post something bigger on it on top of those. And I guess you're not, like, wrong, but why is that something that's good? In fact, this is the exact thing people were upset about before Elon's takeover, talking about silencing their voice, where more powerful, more wealthy outlets were overshadowing their side of things and their opinions. And now it's just like a blatant system that celebrates that fact. And for some reason, because it's Elon, they're like, oh no, this is good now.
Part of it's revenue, part of it is payment authentication. And so if somebody, because there is a huge problem with spam and bots and trolls on Twitter, and organizations trying to manipulate public opinion. But if we can get enough verified users, and we're going to prioritize Twitter search, replies, mentions by verified users first.
This is not news. He made this very clear with his initial post saying, like, the benefits of the checkmark going forward, which is priority in these places. But what wasn't clear is not only are they getting priority, but the people that don't pay for it are getting fundamentally shadow banned. And he's going to go a little further on that in just a moment here, but I just wanted to point out that's not new. He made this clear that by paying for it, you are going to have the benefit of being, you know, the superstar of every single post you ever make, I suppose. People will see that you pay $8 a month for Twitter, they'll give you a thumbs up and start throwing roses and blowing kisses your way for such a great financial decision. This isn't any new information, but I just want to again let everyone know that this is the value that they're paying for $8 a month on Twitter.
With blue checkmark, then you're prioritized. and hateful conduct pays. But if somebody risks losing even $8, the net effect will be over time that the verified users will pretty much always be at the top of comments and search, and you won't really see. You'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
So if something we don't want to see, it gets pushed way down. And
yeah, just the basic.
I promise you, if this was announced before Elon Musk's takeover, there would be nobody defending it. But the fact that Elon Musk has people that would throw themselves in front of a fucking moving train if it meant saving Elon's reputation, they're doing the most incredible mental gymnastics to try and spin this as a positive thing, which it's not. This goes against free speech. Plain and simple. It absolutely does. If you don't pay, you don't have a voice. It's as simple as that. What he's describing here, where you just get pushed to the bottom and you really won't be seen, that's called shadow banning, and it's something everybody hates because it's just downright wrong. It's fucking evil. And he's celebrating it like, oh, if you're not paying me, if you don't have that check mark, you're not going to be seen. That's not a flex. That's not something people will wiggle their finger about with a smile on their face. That is a Wumbo-sized box of ass right there. What a load of shit. It's so dumb. And another fundamental misunderstanding Elon Musk can't wrap his brain around is the fact that there are people that aren't bots, aren't trolls, that won't pay $8 a month. He says you won't see from these unverified users, that's the bots and the trolls. So in his mind, the only unverified users are bots and trolls. He can't comprehend that there's going to be real people with real voices that either can't afford $8 a month or just don't want to pay $8 a month. But he still just throws them down just like, oh no, they're beneath us. Those are bots and trolls. Those unverified users, not real people.
And you won't really see, you'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
When this was initially announced, I thought this would just be like what verification used to mean, like just confirming there's a real person behind the keyboard. But it's not that anymore. It's confirming it's a real person behind the keyboard, and now it's the only way to have a voice. You can't be a free user anymore. At least not one that gets seen. So if you're posting Twitter to like talk to friends or engage in conversation with people that you like, and you're a free user, there's a good chance they won't see it because it'll get drowned out by the verified users. So fundamentally, you just get pushed out of your own circles by the priority of the verified accounts. When he announced this, he tried to portray it as like power to the people, but all it is power to the people that pay. So it's even more so benefiting and only benefiting the people that are wealthy enough to afford an $8 subscription to an absolute fucking hemorrhoid like Twitter, and just completely slaps everyone who can't afford that or won't pay for it. I also don't necessarily seeing it being effective at stopping scams, spam, or hate speech, because he even mentions, you know, people will pay for it and we'll just ban them. It's significantly cheaper now to pay $8 a month for a checkmark than it was for scammers and all of that prior. It was like 15 grand if you bought like a hacked verified account to promote your scam. It was far more expensive. So all of those scammers that were verified and scamming are now able to do it cheaper and probably more often because it's such a lower price point for them now. So I don't see it even stopping that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. The way he describes it, though, really does seem like as a free user, you basically can't exist on Twitter, at least not in any meaningful way with your current circles or making posts. They just won't get seen because all the verified accounts are going to be above you everywhere, not just in the comments, but also in the search. So I don't know how people are even going to find unverified accounts anymore. So yeah, that's the latest update here from this awful idea from Elon. As I've mentioned numerous times now, I really wouldn't mind if Twitter shut down just in general. I think it would be a net positive to the whole fucking world if that were the case. And this does seem like it's a push in that direction. I feel like there's not a ton of people that'll pay $8 a month to be verified, but I just don't know. I really don't. I'm not paying $8 a month for it, I can promise you that much, but I guess we'll have to see how popular the system becomes, but regardless, it is legitimately against free speech, no matter what happens. It is just a fucked up idea. So, that's about it. See ya. I don't like talking about Twitter. I want to make that very clear. Even just saying the word Twitter burns my mouth leaving it. It feels awful, like I'm gargling sewage. But I just can't resist. The platform has become a factory of goofs. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but instead of producing candy, it produces the weirdest ideas ever. How can I resist pure, refined silliness like Twitter's decision-making process? Every time I swear I'm done talking about Twitter, they announce something that drags me back in. I'm like a drug addict that just keeps falling off the wagon again. They just keep putting the heroin in my veins. But honestly, laughing at Twitter has become a harder drug than anything currently out there. It's baffling. So, I'm sure all of you saw by now, Elon Musk has announced that Twitter is being rebranded as X. Just X. It's not short for anything, it's not part of anything, it's just the single letter, X. And I swear to God, Elon Musk has been more obsessed with the letter X than a pirate looking at a treasure map, because for at least 2 decades now, he's had that on his brain. Apparently, the original name he wanted for PayPal was X.com. And he has squatted on that, looking at it as some kind of nugget of genius for over 2 decades, and he has dusted it off. And right now, X.com currently redirects to Twitter. So I'm guessing that's going to be the new domain, since he recently did buy it back. Now, obviously, X.com looks like a porn site, but I guess that doesn't matter to him because X is just super cool in his eyes, which I think proves that he has to be one of the most uncool people on the planet. Being obsessed with the letter X is like something a 12-year-old on Xbox Live when choosing their gamer tag does. But I will say, in his other company, SpaceX, the X looks good because it's part of something. It's not just X on its own, it is part of something else. So it actually looks cool. I think SpaceX is a great name. And not only that, he even named his own baby X. Well, at least part of his name is X. It's X and then a random captcha here. I think it's supposed to be like a plane or something, I already forgot. But it's very clear Elon Musk loves the letter X, more so than Xander Cage in the Triple X movies. Like, this is wild. Not only because, obviously, it's very wacky, it's very, very wacky. Like, the dial went from silly all the way to wacky and then kept going, teetering all the way on bonkers territory with this decision. Because Twitter is one of the most recognizable brand names on the planet. One of the most recognizable brands ever, really, probably. And now Elon Musk has executed the bird, getting rid of the bird. It is transitioning over to X now. Here's what the logo looks like. I think it very much looks like something out of the Call of Duty game battle scene from way back in the day. It looks like one of those really quickly put together emblems. But this is the future here. The bird has been put down. Like Elmer Fudd, but instead of hunting rabbits, he was hunting birds here. It's just so weird, because this is going to be the worst SEO ever. X. Like, searching up X is just going to be fucking awful trying to get to where you want to go. It's also just a horrible name in general that just sounds super lame and embarrassing. And it's even weirder considering how Twitter had spawned its own terminology for when you send out short sentences on the platform. They're tweets. They're retweets when you post them back on your page from someone else's page. When you post videos on Twitter, you reference them as Twitter videos. So what a lot of people have pointed out under this change, when you're referencing videos on X, you're going to call them X videos. And those of you who know, X videos is the biggest porn site in the world. So it's going to be real confusing real quick. And also, what's the new term going to be for when you tweet? You're sending an X. Or I'm going to re-X this. Or did you look at my X's. Which is just so fucking embarrassing to say. That's even worse than saying tweet and Twitter and retweet. It's the worst terminology imaginable, if that is the direction they go. I'm still not fully convinced that this is anything more than just a gag from Elon Musk. I feel like this is just one of his classic shitposty things where he thinks it's like enjoyable for some length of time and then he says, I'm done playing with this toy and forgets about it. I don't know if he's actually going to do this. It would be a really dumb decision too, because again, you bought one of the most recognizable brands ever, and now you're just completely changing the brand name and brand identity. What's the point? All of the hard work of brand building was done for you. You had the easiest part of the brand building process. It was already a juggernaut of a brand. Why are you going back to try and start over with a new brand and a much worse name and a much worse identity that people are already laughing at? It just doesn't make sense. So I feel like he probably won't actually go through with this if it is an idea he's toying around with. I feel like this is just going to be a short period thing that he's kicking around and maybe goofing a bit with. But I guess we'll see. He's made some inexplicably odd decisions with Twitter so far, so I guess it is possible. Clearly, I don't think this is going to kill Twitter, or, sorry, the platform formerly known as Twitter. I don't think everyone's just going to stop using it because the name is shitty, but it's just such a weird thing to do. It doesn't make any sense. It's such a counterintuitive decision. This isn't going to help it become profitable, which I think is like the main goal right now since it bleeds so much money and is so fucking directionless. This is only going to set it back in that direction because now you're going to have to like repitch all of the major brands on why they should work with X, which again is going to be easily confused for pornography. Often, which is going to make it very hard to work with other brands, I would think. Let me give you a great example, because I have a first-hand account of this. Our esports team is named Moist. That's a bit of an odd word. That's a bit of a yucky word. But that's not even, like, something that can be conflated to porn easily. It's just one of those words that makes you feel a little icky. It's just one of those words that makes you raise an eyebrow. And just because of that, there have been many brands that don't really want to work with us just because of the name, and solely because of the name. Imagine now with X, a brand name that if you make one typo immediately takes you to porn, is extremely hard to find through just search engine optimization. It's just going to be a hard thing to get across. Brands are probably going to be a little apprehensive about it, I would think. Assuming, of course, the logic carries over and remains consistent, I think X is a significantly harder to sell name than Moist. But that's just me, and of course that's not exactly the most unbiased judgment there. I've definitely got a horse in this race, but it does seem like X is a much worse name for brands to work with. Just going off of basic common sense here. Now, to me, it's still not entirely clear if he's truly committed to removing Twitter and the bird from everything on the platform and really just diving in deep, cannonballing into the X pool and rebranding fully to that entirely. But according to this article, and according to a Threads post from platformer managing editor Zoe Scheifer, according to her, she says that Twitter's business was already renamed X Corp, and that he said that their email last night would be the last time he emails them from that company address. It would now be fully X Corp. I didn't know that he had renamed Twitter business on the inside to X Corp. That is so fucking lame. Like, if you're going to do this, just choose a cool name. Like, it really does feel like I'm back on Xbox Live when I was 11 years old, going by the name Fast Fighter, and playing with my friends that had X's in their names everywhere because they thought it was the coolest shit ever. How the fuck is this an adult man who is this obsessed with just the letter X? I don't get it. If you're going to go through all of these hoops and rebrand Twitter, whatever, choose a cooler name. Like, just choose something that sounds cool or is just better overall. X is so embarrassing. Going on Twitter right now is already shameful enough, and this is just going to make it be even more miserable. Having to say that you went on X and read a couple of X's or saw the videos posted on X or whatever. It's just, it's so dumb. Yeah, I just had to talk about it. I couldn't resist. It's just so weird. It's such a weird decision. That's really about it. See ya. I really didn't think Twitter would ever have a stupider idea than super follows, that paid monthly subscription to your favorite Twitter account. I thought that was going to be like the magnum opus of incompetence for the site, but Elon Musk took over now, and his neurons are working overtime. He's rubbing the Dogecoins in his brain together and creating some absolute insanity when it comes to bad ideas for monetization. So let's talk about his new $8 a month subscription for check marks on Twitter. Elon Musk has only been the head of it for like less than a week and is already proving me wrong. I said he wouldn't make like any change whatsoever. It'd say exactly the same. But dude is fucking cleaning house at the company and implementing some absolute brain dead ideas. So I'm sure you guys all saw he's looking to charge like $20 a month for verification. After Stephen King's like, nah, I'm out, he started haggling with Stephen King in this public embarrassment, like a humiliation fetish from Elon Musk. He's like, oh, bro, but what about $8 a month? So now he's rolling with $8 a month. Here, actually, I'll just pull up the tweet so you can read it. He like starts groveling at Stephen King's feet. Like, no, what do you mean you're leaving? Yeah, we need to pay the bills somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8? I don't know how he wasn't embarrassed posting that publicly. That's so shameless. But yeah, so that's the idea, charging $8 to keep the check mark, as well as opening it up to anyone who can pay $8 a month and have a check mark. Oh, here it is. Lords and Peasant System, power to the people for $8 a month. So I think most people can sniff out some problems right away with the idea, and Elon Musk himself. So Rubius point this out. What happens when a random user pays $8, changes his display name to Elon Musk using your same profile pic, starts tweeting like you, verified checks exist so people know they follow the real person. He doesn't even address that, he just said it already happens, which he's just blatantly wrong about. There's currently, at least not from the last time I checked, which was 2 hours ago, there is no verified Elon Musk scamming accounts, but there are people like impersonating him without the checkmark. Whereas this can have verified scammers. But regardless, not even the biggest takeaway here. I think anyone who pays $8 for a checkmark is an absolute certified fucking loser. It should only be used by like companies, maybe. I could see that like companies or businesses wanting it. Individuals, I think that shit is trash. Like, you are basically just begging to be bullied. Like, that's like an elevated chat, but on Twitter. That's just a -8 in every reply. I would not take a check mark from anyone seriously anymore. It would be too embarrassing. But yeah, his whole thing is like, it's going to... Actually, here, let me just pull it up instead of put words in his mouth. Here. You get priority in replies, mentions, and searches, which is essential to defeat spam and scams. Which I cannot believe he's that out of touch. This will only increase that because anyone can do it now. So now you can have verified scams, which are going to take priority in the replies and in the searches. I'm not paying $8 a month for the checkmark, I'll tell you right now. That is no shot. That is so dumb. It is more productive to burn your $8 a month. You are getting no value from it. So when that happens, there'll be like 1,000 moist criticals everywhere, and they will all be in the priority scamming people. So it's only going to increase that problem. And you don't even get an ad-free experience, you just get half as many ads. So imagine paying $8 a month for a stupid little Boy Scout badge and then still getting ads. How silly. This is like actual pay pig behavior where you just pay someone to get nothing in return except insults. $8 for a check mark. I see why he's doing it, because now he just paid $44 billion for this pile of shit, and there is no way it's making money, not even close, so he's just scrapping together every shitty idea to try and squeeze a little money into it. And he also has a problem right now where advertisers are pulling out. So not only is he losing all of his like members in the company, the employees that he's firing en masse, but the advertisers themselves are starting to pull out because they have no faith in Elon actually steering the ship. So he can't rely on them anymore, which he publicly admits to Stephen King. So he's just trying everything to make something back on this absolute massive shitpost that was so costly. Man made a $44 billion joke and is starting to regret it like a Darman video. This shit is super follows on crack. Oh, that is such a... I keep forgetting about super chats. Like, super chats is absolutely inviting wedgies into your life. If you are... sorry, super follows. Super follows invites, like, actual swirlies in the bathroom from the football team. If anyone sees that you are a super follower of someone on Twitch, you will never hear the end of it. You are going to be absolutely bullied on Twitter forever. So people don't do it. You never see super followers. Because you're paying for fucking nothing. And that is exactly what the checkmark's about to be with the $8 a month. It's so beautiful. I want to quickly explain super follows a bit more, since I'm aware that most of you probably don't even know what it is. It's a system Twitter rolled out where you can do a monthly paid subscription to your favorite Twitter accounts, and you get like a little badge that highlights you that you're a super follower publicly, so you can stand out in conversation, and you get bonus tweets. You probably haven't seen any super followers because no one uses it because it's downright embarrassing. This is just like going out in public and asking to be spit on. If someone sees you're a super follower on Twitter, good luck having anything you're talking about be taken seriously. And this is what I feel the checkmark will become with this new system if it goes into place. Because you're paying for nothing, and it publicly shows that you are wasting your money. So of course you're just going to be insulted for it, and I think that's going to be a deterrent for people buying it. Like, I just don't see why anyone would when you don't get anything in return for it except for a public badge that lets people know you're wasting your money. Oh, to all complainers, please continue complaining, but it'll cost $8. Fucking epic. That's a fat own right there, noobs, from the mastermind of memes. Let that sink in. I mean, I wish he would have just shut it down. Maybe this is like a long-term play to like slowly wean people off of it, which would be pretty big brain. But it would have been better if he just like, yeah, I regret it, I'm shutting it down. That would have been fantastic. But now he's just gonna go out sad here with this one. Just a way to make money. Yeah, it's a desperate way of making money. One that I don't see going super well. The only people that are gonna use it are people that do it to troll or scam. Why the fuck is a normal person gonna care about having a check mark on their name? Yeah, I'm Biff Cheeseburger from North Baptist University. I want to be verified on Twitter. I'll pay $8 a month for it. I saw, like, even the Elon meat writers that pretty much support everything are kind of scratching their heads here. Because for $8 a month, you're getting nothing. You get priority in replies, yeehaw, so you can say L plus ratio quicker than most people and have it at the top. Like, you don't get anything out of that subscription. They keep comparing it to things like Netflix or Hulu subs, but think of all the content you get from anything else with a subscription. Fucking RuneScape, you get an entire thousands hours worth of gameplay. World of Warcraft, and then any streaming service ever. You get fucking tons of content. On Twitter, you get a check mark, you get a badge. It's worthless. Like, if it was a one-time payment, I could see some people doing it. But a subscription, a monthly subscription to have that, nobody's doing that, except for businesses, maybe. No shot. And you don't even get an ad-free experience, so it's even worse than, like, anything else, like, alternative. O.J. Simpson finally getting his checkmark. True! O.J. Simpson made that post to Elon. Now that Elon's got Twitter under his control, maybe now I can get verified. And he can for only $8. So we finally got the real OJ with that check mark. You can be like OJ Simpson on Twitter. Let's go. Fucking huge. So I can make fake government accounts for only $8. We were talking about this on the podcast, and someone in the chat made like a really fun suggestion of just impersonating foreign policy like higher ups. Because you can do this infinitely, right? Even if you have to verify via photo ID and you get banned for impersonation, you can just do it again. You can just keep doing this over and over again and keep changing your handle to like anyone with a position of power and just going fucking hog wild. He said the $8 will help fund content creators. Is there any info on this? Oh yeah, he did say that. No, that just seems like buzzwords to get people more on his side because people love that kind of sentiment. I don't know how the fuck that's going to fund content creators on Twitter. Like, what the fuck is a Twitter content creator? Like, just anyone with a big following on Twitter? I think the payable verification at this point is meant to reduce bots and not meant to signify that an account belongs to a public figure. Yeah, but it's not going to stop anything with bots or scams or anything. Because it's open to anyone. You can just pay $8 a month. It's just going to be a little costly to promote your scams, but you're going to get more out of it because it's going to fool more people because of the checkmark. And since it floats to the top of the replies now, and since it's going to be the first things that come up when you search things, scams are going to be much more prevalent. Assuming it goes as he has it stated so far. Maybe he has fail-safes in mind, but he certainly hasn't said that yet. How will this stop bots? Bots already exist now, and when you implement buying verification, you'll have the same bots plus easily verified bots. I don't know, like, he's not very in touch. It doesn't, like, I don't see how this stops spam or bots. It seems to me to only increase spam and scams, but I guess we'll see. Like, it doesn't seem to stop bots. The bots are still there, and now some of them can be verified. I was going to wait a little bit longer before fully diving in on this, but I've talked about it on stream, tickling the subject here and there, with Elon Musk's weirdest lie so far about being a Path of Exile 2 top player. For as long as I can remember, Elon has always touted himself as basically a gaming god, where anytime he picks up the sticks, he becomes one of the best to ever do it. And he's been trying that with Path of Exile 2, puffing out his chest, popping his collar, letting people know that he has one of the top characters in the game. Which he does, except it's very clear from the live stream he did, it's not actually his character. He has one or a team of people that actually pilot this character, and they just give him permission to go on the account to flex it. It's not a hurricane machine conspiracy theory. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt true that Elon Musk does not play this game. His account that he showed is definitely not played by him. And it's very clear through the live stream, which we'll go through in a moment, because Quinn made a great video breaking it all down to show just how obvious it is.
So let's start off with some context. Elon Musk's character is currently level 97, aka rank 12 on hardcore, that's permanent death mode. Currently, what is their highest ranked player? They're level 97, same as Elon Musk. So, I mean, he effectively has been playing, pretty much just doing nothing except playing Path of Exile. So let's just go over some of the things that happened.
The reason I wanted to wait a little longer before diving into the spaghetti and meatballs of this is because I wanted to see Elon's response to it, because I know he's seen it. He is more addicted to social media than an Overwatch gooner. He is glued to this shit 24/7, so I am confident he is well aware that the entire gaming community is privy to his fraudulent claims of being one of the top Path of Exile players. And I just wanted to see how he would tackle that, because his responses are always glorious. It's always the most cringe shit imaginable, where he posts like an AI photo of himself as Iron Man. I am Irony Man. You call yourself the Joker, yet you can't take a joke. Ironic. And I wanted to see him do some garbage like that for this, but he hasn't yet, and I just really want to talk about it because it is so clownish.
And he opens up his bank, and he goes to a tab called Elon's Maps, which immediately is a little bit of a red flag, because I don't know why you would refer to yourself in third person, but okay, he does that. He then proceeds to walk up to his map device and go to put a map in. The literal first thing you learn upon getting to the end game is how to operate this map device. You're going to start off at a node, and then from that node you can go to adjacent connected maps. Now, Elon, he's trying to click.
Oh, he's trying to do the map that's not in the chain.
He's just clicking a map repeatedly, trying to access it. He was not eligible to enter that map.
I just want you guys to understand, this is one of the highest level hardcore characters in the game. He would have played thousands of maps at this point.
I don't know how many of you have ever subjected yourself to the torture of trying to watch an Elon Musk stream, but they are agonizing when he tries to stream a game, because it's like 30 minutes of actual nothing burgers where he will sit there AFK and all you get is just background noise. The banging of pans sounds like shit falling over. It's like listening to Legos exploding, and then he'll like occasionally talk and he's still doing nothing, and then maybe he'll do like briefly one map. Watching Snoop Dogg stream when he left and just left it running for like a day was more entertaining than trying to sit through an Elon Musk Twitter stream. They're fucking brutal. So Quinn, going through this, cut out a lot of that, and when he's actually trying to play the game, he doesn't know what he's doing. So what he's showing here is he has that tab called Elon's Maps, which is a weird thing to do, but he's a quirky guy. Maybe he refers to himself in the third person. You could maybe try and conjure up some kind of argument there, because he is just so peculiar as an individual that he would do that. But the big smoking gun in this intro is that he doesn't even know how to use the in-game map. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I'm not even to that point in the game, yet looking at that map, I can tell you what is and is not accessible just through the basic understanding of how games work. He is clicking on a grayed out node. He is repeatedly clicking on it, expecting something different to happen. It's fucking grayed out, goofball. You clearly can't go there yet. But he doesn't understand it.
Anyone who's level 97 is... And you know, we're talking one of the most efficient players in the game, period. There is no way you would do that. Why just like sitting there like some sort of geriatric old man clicking this node, expecting something to happen, and then he finally kind of gives up after a while, and then realizes his mistake. We then get a look at his inventory. So Elon Musk is stuck going into the map and with full bags. If you're an efficient player, you're going to clear a map, you're going to loot the valuable items.
And you're going to sell the trash, keep the good stuff, salvage the bad stuff. Everyone knows that. It's not just being an efficient player, it's just being a player in general. Elon Musk goes into it with a full inventory. You don't have to be a Path of Exile player to know that that's pretty stupid. If you're playing a game that revolves around getting loot, why would you go in with no ability of collecting loot? It doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, you're Elon, who doesn't actually play the game and can't wrap his head around that concept that, having a full inventory kind of defeats the whole purpose. You'd want to get rid of your trash. Or if all of that is just treasure, just absolute beautiful loot you don't want to part with, you'd put it in your stash. You wouldn't take it into the map with you because you need the space in your inventory. That is like actual basics. And he's already failing on the most fundamental aspects of playing not only this game, but any games even similar to it. It's actually a rookie mistake that I myself was making when I was first starting this game, where I was just taking unnecessary shit with me. I didn't realize just how quick and easy it was to just go store it or sell it. You can just click a single button, it'll make a portal to the town, and you can just sell it and then go right back through that portal to where you were. You don't lose any time or anything. It's not a hassle or a chore, and it's something that once you start playing the game, you become privy to. But Elon Musk doesn't really play this game, it seems, yet somehow has one of the top accounts in the whole fucking hardcore space. How odd.
So what I'm doing here is just boosting my shield before battle via meditation. Meditation before battle is always good.
And he starts killing monsters. He starts obliterating monsters with his character. But what becomes obviously apparent...
Chaos Orb, no loot filter.
Is like, no, he's just running past Chaos Orbs! He just ran past the Chaos Orb!
Chaos Orbs are one of the most important currencies, and they're also really rare. I have about 140 Exalts. I have like 9 Chaos Orbs. Just so you guys understand.
This fucking goober doesn't even have the wherewithal to loot one of the most valuable currencies in the game with a Chaos Orb. So I'm 30 hours deep. I've seen one. I've seen one in 30 hours. And he just runs right by it. He doesn't know the game at all. The only thing he loots are completely meaningless waystones. They're not fully meaningless, but for where he's at in the game, it's not what you'd be prioritizing for loot. But the reason he's clicking the waystones is because those are what's highlighted. Meanwhile, Chaos Orb wasn't highlighted, so in Elon Musk's little, like, caveman brain, not shiny, not need. So he just ignores it. He doesn't know the game.
It's unfathomable for someone to be in the top ranks without a loot filter. Yet, Elon Musk, the god gamer, he doesn't play with a loot filter. The only thing Elon does pick up are maps, because the default in-game loot filter highlights those. Those things are worthless. The actual items of value that he should be picking up, that he would have had to pick up in order to get the gear, leave it on the ground. He gets to the boss, he's fighting the boss, and I want to say for about 10 seconds, he sits there and he's out of mana. Mana is a resource in this game where you need it in order to use your abilities. He just sits there, default attacking the boss without activating his mana flask. Anyone who's played the game and understands the character would understand, like, oh, I'm not doing any damage because I'm out of mana.
There's no explanation for him being bad at this character at this level. If he was the one that has been piloting it this whole journey, he would have mastered it. And what Quinn is pointing out is that he clearly hasn't. You can tell from his gameplay. When he's fighting this boss here, he is out of mana for an inexcusably long period of time. In Path of Exile 2, if you go out of mana, if you play League of Legends, you can immediately pop a mana flask and get it back to continue optimizing your DPS. He doesn't do that. His character is juiced out the wazoo, so he's able to get away with being so dog shit. But the fact that he doesn't pop his mana flask for like 10 seconds is crazy to me. And anybody who plays the game. It's not him being some kind of chess master galaxy braining this, where he's being frugal with his mana. Well, actually, I made a calculation that it would be suboptimal if I had popped one of my fucking 20 mana flasks at this moment, because you wouldn't understand. I'm one of the top players in the game. I'm thinking well 5 steps ahead of you. It's just him just being bad. It's him being bad at this character, because it's not really his character. Whoever is piloting this account behind the scenes and boosting it lets Elon go on and do these really easy maps where even when he's super shit, he can get away with being bad and not be punished for it.
He then goes on to loot items off the ground. He starts dragging them into his bag. Like, I don't even know how to describe to you how painful that is to anyone who actually plays the game. And his bags are full, and he just keeps clicking it over and over and over again. Nobody, not even people who are kind of noobs at the game, do this. I don't even think Elon Musk has done the campaign, honestly.
I also don't think he's finished the campaign, and I'm going to go a step further. I don't think he has ever really played an ARPG to a high level at all, including Diablo. Nobody, I mean actually nobody, is going to click drag their loot into their bag once they spend any amount of hours in Path of Exile or Diablo or anything. No one's going to be doing that. That is a mistake that only your grandpappy would make if you sat him down to play this game, where you just slowly drag in the loot. Nobody fucking does that. So I really question the authenticity of his claims of being one of the top Diablo players through his own sheer blood, sweat, tears, and elbow grease and cum. I think something similar has been happening for him on Diablo, where he has people behind the scenes playing the game for him, and then he just goes on occasionally to do a couple maps to flex on Twitter streams.
You're also an innovator there.
Yeah, I played a lot of video games.
You think about like StarCraft, any game where a lot of people are
Yeah.
playing. To rise to the top, you have to be exceptional, period, as a
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah.
There has to be something exceptional about you.
Yeah.
Are you in the top 20 in the world or
Yeah.
top 20 wow, in Diablo?
Yeah.
A ton of people are calling this into question now after watching the Path of Exile stream, because those are transferable skills. If you're really good at Diablo, you should at least be pretty good at Path of Exile. And he's just not. And he lacks the basic understanding of ARPG fundamentals. So how the fuck could he be one of the top Diablo players and be this clueless for Path of Exile? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't compute.
His settings on the map transparency are turned on by default. His life values are turned on. All these basic settings that anyone in the top 100 would do, he is not doing. Maps can effectively have different content on them, and that content will be signified by icons on the map. So it could be a map which has an expedition in it, a breach in it, or it could be corrupted. Elon starts looking through the atlas, and he finds a map with, I kid you not, 4 things on it.
There are 4 things there. So this one has the real risk of dying.
4 things. What are those things?
Dude, 4 things. It's 4 things, dude.
You can't just write this off as him being lazy and trying to put it in layman's terms, because this stream of him flexing his Path of Exile 2 achievements isn't made for, you know, your uncle or something who's a big Elon meat swallower. This is like specifically catered to gamers. So it makes no sense that he would just write that off as just 4 things. And also, his settings make no sense for someone in the top 100. No loot filter and all of the basics still on. That's how I play. And I am nowhere near a top player in Path of Exile 2 at all. It doesn't work. That excuse of him just being lazy, it doesn't work. He could not achieve what he has in Path of Exile 2 with these settings and the way he approaches the game. It's clearly just not him that has got the character to this point. He doesn't know what those 4 things are, which is why he calls it that.
He then goes on to say, I kid you.
This is max difficulty on hardcore. If there's a way to get higher difficulty, I don't know what it is, but this is everything maxed out.
Path of Exile has boss fights and endgame bosses, which are quote-unquote difficult battles, which Elon actually did do in one of his streams, where he just went into the endgame boss and died repeatedly to it. Maps are just farming. You go into maps and you farm them for loot and experience. They're not the most difficult battles, and I don't know if he's trying to deceive people watching a stream into thinking that he's doing some insanely hard thing, whenever he's literally doing something you do to effectively grind or farm.
Listening to Elon talk about Path of Exile 2 is like listening to the out-of-touch writers in CSI, where they'd have things like, yeah, I have all the top scores in every MMORPG ever. I am elite noob slayer. Like, when they try and relate to gamers, that's Elon with Path of Exile 2. It's such a weird thing to lie about, because this isn't a cool thing to anyone that's not already playing Path of Exile 2, but anyone who plays the game would immediately recognize he's just making shit up and doesn't actually know what he's doing or saying. And it's just classic Elon. This is a max difficulty Turbo XL Super Arcade. In fact, I'm the only one that's unlocked this difficulty setting, and I just wish it was a little bit harder, because for someone of my intellect, it's just a bit beneath me. But yeah, this is maxed out difficulty on hardcore. You can see I'm breezing through it. I wish I could increase the difficulty a little bit just to stimulate myself a bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm just too good for it. Like, the way he talks about this game, while clearly being clueless on it, he's actually infuriating. I can't fucking stand it.
And Elon Musk starts going over his gear.
This is a great staff, but it's only a level, 62 staff.
His weapon is, I kid you not, one of the best, if not the best staffs on the entire hardcore trade league. You cannot even buy it. Insane weapon.
Not only does Elon have a staff that you can't even buy, but it's so good that the second best one, which is missing 2 of what makes a staff so powerful for an invoker, which is the crit and crit bonus, is still 20 divines, and that's obviously very expensive.
Here I am, like, level 95, but my staff is only level 62.
That is something that you learn pretty early on into the game, that the actual level of gear isn't the most important part about it. That's just the requirement to equip it. Quinn gave an example that one of the strongest, most meta builds at the moment uses a weapon that is level 1 requirement. A level 1. If Elon Musk had that on his stream, he would have probably blown a fucking gasket. He would have had a conniption, thinking that his boosters were doing a bad job. But they're doing such a good job that it has become blatantly obvious that Elon is not the one behind it at all. His weapon is nuts, yet he is fixated on it being level 62, thinking it's beneath him because he's a much higher level. He doesn't grasp the concept that it's not the level that makes the weapon good, it's all of the blue stuff there. You can't reach this point in the game without that basic understanding. You just can't. He's talking like he needs to upgrade his weapon soon. Like, yeah, I need to get myself a better weapon, one that reaches my potential at level 95. But for now, this is getting the job done. I'm able to do all of this with such a low-leveled weapon. It's fucking insanity.
My helmet is level 56.
Int, lightning, and chaos resist. Okay. It's only 56.
Amulet level 61. Ring is only level 48, 49. At least a level 75 jacket.
It's a jacket with 6 things. Yeah, tell us how bad the item that only drops from the highest difficulty of the hardest boss. Just tell us that it's only level 52. Did you find this at level 52? That's impressive.
Level 52 here.
They can only ever be level 52. Bro, Elon Musk is a fucking fraud, bro.
Pretty low level compared to my character level, but it seems to work pretty well. In softcore, you can get much better equipment.
Seems to work pretty well is an understatement. He is a fucking force of nature with this gear. He is beyond juiced. The actual pilots of this account have done an extraordinary job of making an absolute deity with this gear here. And yet Elon can't recognize that because he's not the one that did it. He only mentions the item's level, the least important part about items in the game. And once again, the excuse of, oh, he's just being lazy and he's trying to put it in layman's terms so people can understand. People know, like, level 62 versus level 95. Well, no, because that doesn't work because the 62 is extremely good regardless of him being level 95. He could be level 1000 and that level 62 weapon is still going to be fucking unbelievable. He just doesn't understand how the game works. He just doesn't. If he didn't want to go into detail on everything for his gear during the stream, that's fine, but he is actively saying that the gear isn't really good because of its level, which is so false, it's laughable. That's why he is being giggled at by both Crip and Quinn during this, because he is beyond clueless as to what he's even looking at and what he's talking about. And from his gameplay, it seems he doesn't even really know how to play the game itself either. I would wager a guess he's maybe spent a couple of hours actually playing the game, but only, clearing maps. I don't think he has ever picked up a piece of fucking gear in his life or worked on a build or anything at all. I don't think he even knows how to use, skill gems or support gems or anything. I bet if you asked him to bring up, certain things, explain why this gem is where it is, he would have no clue why. If he brought up his skill tree, he would have no idea what's even on it. If you ask him about trials, he would hit you with big fucking question marks or just ignore it and move on. He doesn't know the game. And he proved it with this live stream here. But the question needs to be asked, why? Why even lie about this in the first place? Again, this isn't something cool to people who don't play Path of Exile. But anyone who plays Path of Exile is going to recognize that you're a fraud. This is not your account. If he was honest about it, saying hey, I tried Path of Exile, I really liked it, but I don't have time to grind it, so I paid people to grind it for me, I think people would have a little bit more respect for that, as opposed to him cosplaying as one of the top players, pretending he's the one actually putting in the work and doing it, when he's definitely not.
And if you needed any more proof that Elon is 100% boosted, he was playing the game today inside of maps blasting while simultaneously on a X space.
Yeah, RIP. So Elon's account, Percy, did die, and in hardcore that is permadeath. And I'm not sure if it was Elon that died on it, or if one of the people he paid to boost it made a mistake while grinding. I'm not sure. But I love the idea that it was Elon who bit the dust on it and bought the farm, because the people that actually put the hundreds of hours into getting this account so juiced out the wazoo are probably fucking furious. Like, they set Elon's maps aside, which are very easy maps for him to clear for the sake of flexing on Twitter with this account that they're actually putting the work into, and yet somehow this bumbling buffoon still finds a way to die on this overpowered character, just reverting all of their hard work to zero. It's just a beautiful thought, because they set aside easy maps for him. And maybe he got a little too big for his britches. Maybe what happened is he saw all the people, calling him out for obviously not playing this game. He's like, okay, I'll put on my big boy britches and I'll do some hard content, and immediately just gets fucking washed. Like, just actually rinsed. I'm very excited to learn how exactly this account perished, because I feel like he'd probably mention it, like, what happened? What went so wrong? But yeah, I wanted to talk about this a bit. It's such a weird, stupid thing to even lie about in the first place, and yet here he is, telling blatantly obvious fibs. He's got all the money in the world and all of the insecurity imaginable. He has this desperate, insatiable appetite for unconditional love from everyone, and in this pursuit makes everyone hate him through being just a lying cringelord. Like, this is such an unnecessary lie to even tell. He just wants to be viewed as the smartest person to ever grace this fucking space rock that we live on, and the best at everything he even attempts to do, even when he's just not. He could have actually probably scored a ton of brownie points with gamers by saying, hey, Path of Exile 2 is a really good game, I'm learning it right now, watch me stream the early game content. And people probably would have actually really applauded that, because he's playing it on his own two legs here. He's playing and learning it, and that could have been a really easy way to relate to gamers. Like, hey, this game's great. I'm going to start learning to grind it. I'm not very good right now, but if you want to check out my early game, here's the stream. And I bet it would have been received far better than this dog shit. He is poorly playing an account that has never actually been piloted by him. But it's an account with a lot of prestige because it's so high ranked, and that is like the most appealing thing to Elon. It's just, it's nonsensical. He's so fucking cringe, it's crazy. That's about it. So yeah. When I was growing up, I was an extremely religious kid. I stole my friend's Digimon cards in 4th grade, and I never forgave myself. I was convinced I was going to be banished to the Shadow Realm, sent straight to hell. I knew that I had just broken one of the 10 commandments, but I couldn't, fight the demon that told me to take those Digimon cards. I thought the Lord was up in heaven wiggling his finger saying, no, Charles, enjoy your time with Lucifer for this. But then I remembered what I was always taught, that the Lord could forgive any sin, no matter how great. But now that I'm an adult, I've learned that that's just not the truth, because there is one sin that is unforgivable, and that's cringe. And nobody is more cringe than Elon Musk. Now, I know I've made quite a few videos about Twitter and Elon Musk over the last month or so, but that's just because there's been so much silliness going on with it. But people keep thinking I'm some mindless drone who hates on him blindly for no reason, and that's just not the truth. I always give credit where credit's due. I've talked about this on stream, but I'll mention it quickly in this video before getting into the actual meat of the topic. Elon Musk seems to have been taking a hardline stance against the open pedophiles that were using Twitter unimpeded for years. I read a report recently that he's banned thousands of accounts from these predators that were openly sharing explicit child materials on Twitter. Those accounts are now gone, and I think that is a wonderful, great thing that he's done. I never have any problem giving appreciation for good things done by people that I might not like. Like, I don't just assume everything that someone does is evil just because I'm not a huge fan of them. Now, getting on to today's topic. Elon Musk has embarrassed himself publicly yet again. He was invited on stage at Dave Chappelle's most recent comedy show and got booed. Extremely booed. It sounded like when Valve revealed Artifact at E3.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world.
There's so many boos, it sounds like a stock sound effect from a cartoon. I was surprised tomatoes weren't flying during this. Like, there are, of course, some cheers mixed in there, especially from, like, the cameraman and the people next to him, but the overwhelming amount of the noise is boos. And it's not surprising, regardless of what your political beliefs are, the question remains, why is Elon Musk at a comedy show? He's not a comedian, he's not even entertaining. Every interview he's ever done, every show he's ever been a part of, he completely lacks charisma and he just doesn't really tell jokes in general. Like on Twitter he tells jokes, but those are stolen from replies. I actually saw him do that in real time once on stream when we were just going through like some latest Twitter drama. He had literally taken the top reply to a tweet about Kathy Griffin being banned, saying, well, she was actually banned for impersonating a comedian. Elon Musk took that reply and then 30 minutes later said the exact same thing. Just stole it. He's like the Amy Schumer of Twitter. He also, of course, doesn't make his own memes, he just steals those too, so he's not exactly like an entertaining person. Why is he going to be like the guest at a Dave Chappelle show? Like, he's not going to go up there and tell jokes, and he clearly didn't have like a script or anything, because he really flounders here. Like, this was rough. This was brutal to listen to. I also don't think it helped that Dave Chappelle just introduced him as the richest man in the world. Like, what kind of response are you expecting there? Like, cheers like, oh, whoa, 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 he's got a lot of money, whoa, he's got a lot of money, wee, that's what I came here to see, a rich guy, and no comedy. Like, I don't know why that intro is supposed to get people hyped. Like, okay, he's the world's richest man. And what's he gonna do? Is he here to make us laugh? Or is he just here to be like a circus freak? Like, wow, look at this guy, the world's richest man. Well, hey, why are you not applauding him for being rich?
Cheers and booze, I see. Elon.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I just don't get what the plan was here. Elon Musk doesn't say much of anything. He just kind of stands there awkwardly looking down sometimes like a kid at homecoming who didn't get a date. And then he says, hey, Dave, and that's it. He's like pretty much silent for most of this while Dave Chappelle desperately tries to ease the discomfort. It's just fucking weird.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience. Hey, wait a minute. Those of you booing.
Dave Chappelle gets some laughs out of the crowd, hoping that they can then move on from this situation, but the damage is already done. They just go right back to booing. I don't know what his thought process was here, bringing Elon Musk out, as if that was like going to go over well. It's a comedy show and he is not entertaining. Like, set aside the political beliefs or anything of what the audience might disagree with Musk on, the fact of the matter is the guy is just not entertaining. So why bring him out to a comedy show? Like, he's already come out here and now has killed the vibe of the entire atmosphere, like a cop showing up to a frat party to shut it down.
Tough on the head, like sounds like. But you notice one thing, all those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. You have terrible seats, and I understand. All coming from way up there.
This is when it gets super sad. Dave Chappelle starts fighting for Elon Musk's honor like a K-pop stan going to defend him in the comment section. So Dave's diving in front of all the boos that are being tossed his way like he's deflecting bullets from the president. And he just shits on his own audience for not liking Elon Musk popping out here like a jump scare. He says that the majority of people booing are the ones that have terrible seats, thus implying it's poor people that are booing him. Like, what the fuck, man? That's just like a lame joke, like, in general. I understand that you're probably like a little panicked here and very uncomfortable with this situation because the guy that you invited up, your buddy, isn't being received well by your audience, but why are you shitting on them for it? It was a stupid idea to bring him out in general. Even if he wasn't like a controversial figure, if you just bring up someone that's not even associated with comedy, they're probably not going to be received well at a fucking comedy show. Like, it's just that simple. Like, he could have called up like, hey, everyone, and now introducing the world's best plumber. This guy's helped me with so many of my toilets. Like, Okay, and why is he here? Like, why are we supposed to get excited for that? But at least in that hypothetical situation, the plumber has a chance of being, like, fun to listen to with jokes. Everyone already knows Elon Musk can't tell jokes, so there's literally nothing to even be remotely excited about other than, like, hey, he's got a lot of money. Like, what? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Dave, what should I say? Don't say nothing. Okay. It'll only spoil the moment. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest.
Oh, that desperate Dave, what should I say? Oh my god, it's like in middle school when you're giving that class presentation, you're super nervous and you start freezing up. Oh, fuck me. Dave, fucking help, please. What should I say? Tell me what to say. Like, what a disaster. Now, we talked about this on the podcast, and Kaya made a good point. What should have happened here, if they really wanted to integrate Musk into this, it should have been treated like a roast session. The guy is not good with, like, scripts or anything. Look no further than SNL when he fucking bombed on that. But you could treat it like a roast session where Dave Chappelle makes jokes about him, you know, all that, and Elon Musk takes it on the chin. It makes him look humble and like a good sport. But this is just a disaster. And speaking of disasters, the first 2 accounts that posted footage of this got deleted. Now, whether or not they were banned for sharing this embarrassing moment of Musk, or if they deleted the accounts themselves, there's no telling. But the first 2 accounts that posted this video are no longer on Twitter, which is a little weird. I'm going to hope they deleted it themselves and weren't banned for showing this video. Because if so, that would be a huge red flag on the enforcement of Twitter's policies, because this violates no rules. This is just showcasing a really embarrassing moment from Elon Musk and Dave Chappelle here. Like, that's not against the Twitter terms. There's no reason why that should lead to a ban. So I'm hoping that their accounts were just deleted, and that them being banned is just a conspiracy. But there's no telling. What is confirmed, though, is Elon Musk made this tweet about 2 or 3 hours after being booed off stage at Chappelle's performance. Now, whether or not this is in response to getting booed, I don't know for sure. But he said the woke mind virus is either defeated or nothing else matters. So he leaves the stage with tears in his eyes, his ego shattered, and then shortly after, this tweet comes up. I don't know if this was just weirdly timed pandering or if he's actually blaming woke people for getting booed off stage, but to me it feels like he really believes the only people that would boo him are woke people. My man, you were at a Dave Chappelle show. That is not a woke audience. You can't keep falling back on this woke boogeyman and just writing off people that don't like you as being plagued by wokeness. You went to a comedy show, you're not a comedian, and you're not entertaining. Of course that wasn't going to be received well in any universe. Oh, also, I think it's only fair I mention how the show actually wraps up. Elon Musk gets into a crouch position, makes a huge gesture, gets the mic and says, "I'm rich, bitch." And that's it. And he actually butchered that line, by the way. He delivered it like there was peanut butter all in his mouth, so he couldn't actually get all the words out properly. And then the music plays and they walk off. It was rough. This just goes to show you no amount of money in the world can prevent you from being cringe. That's about it. So yeah. The day of reckoning is upon us. The Armageddon the Bible warned us about has finally come true. The demon of Dogecoin has taken over Twitter, and he's already made some massive changes internally. It took only a matter of minutes with Elon Musk at the top of the Twitter food chain for him to let WrestleMania run wild and start firing people, including 3 top Twitter executives, the CEO, the CFO, and the chief legal officer. All of them were immediately just let go by Musk. Now, of course, they're not leaving without some compensation. They're getting a lot of money in this firing. But even still, he just took 3 of the top executives and just said, pack your bags. You're going home. But before I get into those changes, I want to go over the reception to this news because I've already seen some wacky tantrums being thrown about it. And overall, people are more divided than my butt cheeks on how to feel about all this. So I want to give my perspective right away. I'll toss my take out there. I think this is just going to be a huge nothing burger that most people are going to forget about in 2 weeks because there's not going to be any meaningful, noticeable difference in the platform itself with Elon Musk at the helm. I think the problem with Twitter isn't necessarily a platform problem, it's a people problem. It's just fucking dumb, stupid idiots on there, and since everyone has a voice that's amplified because of just how big Twitter is, those things gain steam, gain traction, and then you have people always arguing with each other over the stupidest shit. Biff Cheeseburger over here is talking about how women are sexually abused because it's their own fault for what they're wearing, and then that ends in like a giant viral conflict where people are somehow debating this as if there was ever even like a legitimate argument in the first place, besides just the incoherent ramblings of a raving lunatic. So I don't even think the biggest problem with Twitter is with the platform itself. It really feels to me like the main issue is just the people. Twitter is a more toxic place than Chernobyl. Twitter is like the modern age equivalent of using asbestos in everyday life, just slowly killing your brain cells instead. It's just awful. And I don't know what Elon Musk could possibly do to make it better, but I also don't think there's anything he could do to make it worse. I think currently Twitter is in the worst possible state it could be, and even if he starts unbanning accounts, I don't see that somehow making the platform worse. Like, it really feels like it's genuinely rock bottom, like the bedrock in hell itself. So really, the only way to go is up from here, but I just don't see it happening. I can't imagine a world where all of a sudden Twitter rallies and becomes a positive force for good in the world. But maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe Elon Musk has some grand vision for the platform that I'm too stupid to see. Though I highly doubt that he has any plan at all besides he thought it'd be a fun joke and he wipes his ass with $40 billion, so why not buy it? So anyway, that's my whole take on it. Oh, I will say though, as I've been very upfront in the past, I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan. I'm not like a diehard Musketeer or whatever the super fans call themselves, or the cult-like following he has with crypto bros who huff copium every single day, replying to all of his tweets, praying that he'll at least give them a crumb of attention to try and save their dying shitcoin. Yeah, overall, I'm just not really an Elon Musk supporter, and even I don't think this is going to somehow plummet Twitter into an even deeper shithole status. But some people really seem to think so. I won't go through a ton of them. In fact, I really only want to look at one. Most of the responses were very pretentious and exaggerated about how this is like going to ruin the entirety of society. This is going to plunge us into a deeper divide and everything's ruined now that Elon Musk has Twitter. But the one I want to focus on is one that I saw floating around all over the place, and it said, "The gates of hell opened on this site tonight." As if they weren't already. There are pedophiles using Twitter openly. Zoophiles that get viral posts talking about how zoophile acceptance is important. Twitter is already the gates of hell, and we are constantly taking a look into the abyss. That's not going to change with Elon Musk at the helm now. It's not like it was in a good state before Elon Musk. It's not like Elon Musk came in here like a burglar in the night and stole the crown jewel of society. He basically came in here like a garbage man and swept up a pile of dog shit and kept it to himself. Nothing is really much worse right now. I don't know what this journalist who made the tweet was seeing. I don't know where they were that all of a sudden Elon Musk taking over suddenly sprung forth all kinds of foul miasma that just spread throughout all of Twitter like a plague. It's exactly the fucking same. The only thing that has changed is internally, and they are big internal changes. By firing these top executives, he's sending a message that he's just gonna run this shit with an iron fist, and he's been very adamant about making Twitter more welcoming to free speech and less censorship. I'm not a fan of censorship, I've made that clear. I have an overall dislike for censorship, so it's not like I'm exactly crying over him firing people that were very for it. So him firing these people doesn't make me upset. It seems to have made other people upset, which surprises me considering most people don't like the state of Twitter pre-Musk anyway. So I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to change course and experiment with other options to make Twitter somehow marginally better. He said in a Twitter post that he's going to be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints and that no major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before the council convenes. And so far, this is the only strategy he's revealed publicly with this team that he's going to be setting up. And I guess we'll see how it all plays out. I, again, don't think this is going to lead to any massive changes, positive or negative, to the user experience on Twitter or the platform as a whole. I guess we'll see, though. I'm always up to be pleasantly surprised. Well, if it's positive. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I just wasn't strong enough. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fight the urge, exercise the demon that was compelling me to talk about Elon Musk making a clown of himself again. I told myself, like as a pre-New Year's resolution, to stop talking so much about all of the Twitter dog shittery that's been going on and how wacky and wild it's all been over there, because I've already made so many videos talking about it, but it just keeps getting more and more wacky. And I'm drawn to wackiness like a moth to a flame, so I couldn't stop myself. I'm just like a junkie who fell off the wagon again, scratching at my neck, and I needed my fix. I couldn't help myself. I just have to talk about the most recent development in the never-ending soap opera of Elon Musk and Twitter. I'm sure you saw yesterday, Twitter made a statement about an upcoming policy change where they would no longer be allowing promotional links to competing websites. They initially said that if the purpose is to drive traffic away from Twitter into the other sites, you can't do that anymore. We're putting the kibosh on it. The fist is coming down. But it was vaguely written to the point where it could be interpreted in a lot of different ways and caused mass hysteria, like an actual panic, because they even mentioned Linktree by name, which is something a lot of people use to like put their links to other places. So by having it be so vague, it made it feel like if you just link to competing websites, you could face punishment, be banned for it. So that obviously raised a lot of people's red flags because it sounded cutthroat, like absolutely brutal. Twitter just seemed like they were putting these walls up to keep everyone trapped in the insane asylum. It reminds me of like a competing student council president in middle school where he's like, my opponent over there absolutely stinks. He sucks eggs, and if you go to any of his functions, you're not allowed at any of my functions. It just felt like a temper tantrum almost to try and prevent people from linking elsewhere. Like even having that statement at the end where it says follow me on and then dropping your Instagram handle would be a bannable offense. Like that is alarming. So obviously the backlash was huge, and this is one of the very few things I've ever seen that has unified everyone of all sides to come together and hate it equally. Even the biggest throat goat Musk meat swallowers were choking on this wiener here. This news made even them upset. Everyone came out against this. It was like a galactic threat in the Marvel universe where the villains start working together with the heroes to defeat the common evil. This was a big moment, and the backlash actually got some results. They seem to have backpedaled on the policy. They deleted the initial post with all of this in there, which is a great thing. I'm glad they decided to bury this and hopefully never try something similar. They were receptive to the feedback because there was a ton of feedback, so I'm glad they implemented that change quickly. But this is where we get to the wackiest part of the story. Shortly after this huge debacle, Elon Musk made a post saying that from now on major changes will be pulled, which reminds me of like old school RuneScape system where they pull like even the most minor fucking changes and leave it up to the community to decide, which I think is a good thing overall. But it then went to Elon Musk polling something else. Elon Musk polled whether or not he should stay head of Twitter. And good golly, I tell ya, I don't know if these were the results he was hoping for, but this is where we're at. 57.5% have said yes, he should step down as the head of Twitter. This is big. I'll tell you where I stand here. I don't think he should step down as the head of Twitter because then I wouldn't have as much to laugh at every single day. I also don't think he should be able to bail out of this sinking ship, at least not in the public eye. I think he should absolutely continue running Arkham Asylum. I don't think he should be able to get the free ticket out. He should absolutely have to stand by this product now. Plus, he's still obviously going to have a huge say-so in the company's direction. It's just he'll no longer be the public punching bag for it. He's going to dump that responsibility on some other poor soul. I've talked about this before, and it seems a lot of people must have flown under their radar. But this doesn't actually mean anything either. Elon Musk has been actively looking for a CEO since purchasing this fucking pile of shit anyway. I think a lot of people seem to have forgot that last month he did make a statement that he's looking for a new CEO of Twitter anyway. So this poll really feels pretty fucking useless when he's already planning on not being the CEO for much longer regardless. This feels like some kind of PR play to be like, okay, the people have spoken and I care so much about democracy, I will actually be stepping down and here's your new CEO. Even though that was his plan from the beginning. But I actually think this is a lot more shameful. Like, this isn't exactly the best PR play because if he does step down now and get that new CEO up, it's going to be like, yeah, okay, you guys didn't like me, and then you like kick sand, so maybe you'll like this guy more. I think that's infinitely more pathetic than if you had just gone out like the traditional way saying, okay, I've done enough here, here's your new CEO. But instead, it now looks like you're leaving because people threw too many fucking tomatoes at you. You got too many boos. That 90% cheers and 10% boos, I guess, wasn't necessarily accurate. This, I think, is just a much sadder way of departing, especially considering you had already had plans to get a new CEO in there pretty soon. It's just a very silly and wacky twist to this story here that I, of course, had to talk about, because how could I not? This is goofiness. This is prime goofiness, like, the essence of it, like, right in the palm of our hands. Of course I was going to speak about it, even though I had already kind of sworn off this hard drug of talking about Elon Musk and Twitter's silliness. I just couldn't help it for this one. I had to make a special exception. So that's where we're at right now. Not sure when or even if Elon Musk will be stepping down anytime super soon, but it's definitely worth mentioning that this is going on because, man, it is just a never-ending ride of fun and thrills. That's about it. See ya. When it comes to making predictions, I'm wrong more often than a March Madness bracket. If I was a meteorologist, they would have me publicly executed at the town square while people throw tomatoes at me because I would legitimately never predict the weather correctly. And I almost think that that's more impressive, the fact that I can't even accidentally get a prediction right. But that doesn't mean that I don't like to keep trying, so that's what I'm doing today. I may be 0 for 100 on predictions, but we're about to change that. The curse will be lifted. Statistically, you gotta get one right eventually, and this is my one. I know for a fact Elon Musk will never fight Mark Zuckerberg in a real fight. Now, maybe they get together in the octagon and play a game of patty cake or a little slap boxing with headgear like it's straight out of SpongeBob karate episode or something, but they will never actually have a fight. For those that don't know, for the last couple months, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg has been posturing that they're going to fight each other, like in a legitimate fight. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is all just publicity and attention because Elon Musk loves attention. He feeds on that more than a plant feeds on sunlight. Elon Musk photosynthesizes attention the same way plants do. It's how he lives. So I think that's the actual motivation here, is just to keep his name in people's mouths. Because there is no way he has ever thrown a punch in his life. His body is built like a tub of mayonnaise. It looks like he's smuggling 6 bowling balls in his torso. I don't think his confusing body geometry would even allow for him to throw a punch. It'd be like trying to stretch a wet spaghetti noodle. There's no way he's ever trained, nor ever even thrown a punch at a punching bag, I don't think. So this would just be a ridiculous fight to take because Mark Zuckerberg, the fucking goofy soulless android straight out of Skynet, actively trains in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and actually just won a gold and silver medal in a Jiu-Jitsu tournament a month ago. Which initially that headline didn't impress me because I just assumed Zuckerbot went in there, opened his wallet and paid everyone to just throw against him so he could feel good about himself. But there's footage of the event and he is pretty solid. He is actually pretty talented. It's clear he takes it seriously. He's also just been training with experts as well to become better at it. So this is something that he's serious about. Meanwhile, the only thing Elon Musk is serious about is shit-tier memes. Like the crustiest, dankest memes ever that no one can even ironically laugh at. If this was a fighting game, Elon Musk would be in the unusable below F-tier ranking. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg would be like C-tier. So there's just no chance. Like, there's literally no chance Elon Musk would win this fight, and he knows it. Mark Zuckerberg would smoke his meat. Mark Zuckerberg would rip his fucking tongue out and lick his ass with it. Like, Elon Musk would truly get brutalized, I think. Even though Elon Musk definitely has some size on him, it doesn't matter, because there's no way Elon Musk can use his size unless he tries to do some kind of weird forbidden jutsu where he, like, oils himself up to get real slippery and, like, slides around and attacks him like that. Like, I don't know what else he could possibly do, because he doesn't train. He hasn't trained, and he won't train. So he's already planted the seeds of doubt. He made a tweet not too long ago talking about how he might need back surgery. So he's already, like, alluding to some excuses he could use to get out of this fight to weasel his way out. So I just don't see this fight happening. I really don't see this fight happening at all. But it hasn't stopped the hype train. Elon Musk keeps talking about how it's definitely going to happen, and he even makes, like, these bold claims about where it's happening and when. Meanwhile, Zuck on Threads, and also, God rest the soul of Threads, that didn't make it more than a month before it died. What a tragically fast demise that platform had. I don't know anyone that still uses Threads except for Zuck now. That's just like his quarantine zone, his containment unit. He just goes in there and speaks, and that's the only thing left on Threads. But anyway, Zuck made this post in response to all of the posts Elon had made about how the fight's, coming up pretty soon. Zuck said, I love this sport and I've been ready to fight since the day Elon challenged me. If he ever agrees on an actual date, you'll hear it from me. Until then, please assume anything he says has not been agreed on. Which I 100% believe Mark Zuckerberg here, because Elon Musk does nothing but make false promises and just make shit up. Like, the way Elon Musk talks about it, you'd think the fight's happening this weekend. But meanwhile, there's not a single date that's been agreed upon or anything like that. So, there's nothing confirmed here. It is still just a bunch of brouhaha, but I don't think it's ever happening. But it doesn't stop Elon Musk from puffing out his grotesque chest. He keeps making statements like this. So this was in response to Mark Zuckerberg saying, just take everything he says with a grain of salt, but I'm ready to fight whenever. Elon Musk said, if Zuck wants my tongue, I guess. I don't really know what this emoji's supposed to mean. And now it just seems like he's more flirting than anything. So I'm having a hard time deducing these hieroglyphics here. I don't know why he's using that emoji in this fight context, but whatever. If Zuck wants my tongue, really wants a lesson in why there are weight categories and fighting so badly, I could just head over to his house next week and teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. Elon is legitimately a 14-year-old on Xbox Live trapped in the body of a 50-year-old grown man. It is incredible. Like, this is actual old Call of Duty lobby energy here. Elon would never actually fight Zuckerberg. That's what I truly believe. If he did, that would not go well, I imagine. I really do think Mark Zuckerberg would fuck him up. I really think Zuckerberg's got psychopath energy. That man's probably got so much pent-up rage from the colossal historic failure of the metaverse that this man is just looking for an excuse. And Elon Musk might be that excuse. I think he would just absolutely destroy in this billionaire beatdown against Musk. But once again, I don't think we'll ever know for sure, because it's not going to happen. That is my prediction. I wanted to put it out here because sometimes I like to get my predictions out, and so far every single time they've been wrong. Many of you may remember I made a video talking about Halo Infinite not being real. I made that video like 4 years ago or something when they first showed like the early trailer, then a year went by and they didn't show anything else, and then like 6 months went by and they showed like actual pre-alpha level footage, and I proclaimed that the game is probably not real and even close to being released. But then it came out like a year and a half later. So it looked like they did have it cooking in the oven. And unfortunately, you know how the story goes, they served it raw. It was missing like half of the game's overall content it was supposed to have, and then it remained in a completely barren wasteland of a state where they weren't adding or changing anything about it, and then they eventually just canceled a lot of the components. And well, it's actually a very sad story, the post-release of Halo Infinite. Good news though on that front, they're getting it together. Halo Infinite's made quite a few new updates that are actually pretty well received. I haven't personally tried them myself, but they do seem like quality updates. They finally got Forge in the game, like 2 years late, but they got it. Like, baby steps, damn it. They finally started adding some shit to the game, finally starting to turn it around. Maybe too little too late, but the point is, I'm way off topic now. Point is, they did at least start making improvements there. But I did make the prediction that it wasn't even real, which I was wrong about, and that to tie it all back to what I was saying. Point is, I'm bad at predictions. I usually get them wrong. This one I am very, very confident on. I don't think there is a world where Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk have a legitimate fight against each other. I do think there is a chance that they'll have some kind of really embarrassing, silly show match where it's clear that it's not a real fight. It's just some kind of scripted mess or some kind of very haphazardly thrown together disaster where neither person is really fighting. It's just like they're toying with each other and pretending it's a fight. Like, I'm talking CW level choreography of a fight. Like, I don't think they'll ever have a real one, but I do think there's a chance they'll have a fake fight against each other just to try and capitalize off the hype. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there. That's really about it. So yeah.